everybody, welcome back to the channel. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. This video I'm going to talk about 17 to 21. It's by the creator of one of my favorite series of all time, and that is, Chainsaw Man. This is like short stories, and I read the first part. I read all of it, but I'm going to talk about the first part. I'm going to talk about all of it, so, Anyways, the first short story is basically about there is aliens invade Earth, and they, eat humans like humans eat pigs, cows, chickens, all that stuff. And it's about these two humans. Well, there's one supposedly a human and the other is a human. And how they lived as chickens for a while, and then they have this other alien guy who's transferring to their school, and he realizes he's not a chicken, and then they run away, but there's one alien who was like, oh, I don't want... It is really weird, and it wasn't very good. I wouldn't say it was terrible, but, I don't know. The end is, the chicken, one chicken ends up being an alien, the other one ends up being human. They run away, and then he talks about how humans went extinct and stuff, and how an alien lived with a chicken that was a human. I don't know, it was stupid. But, I don't know, I really like this mangaka, and you can see how he's grown a lot. So, anyways, the next story is about... So, in the second short story... The main character is this guy right here, and he has this teacher who he's kind of in love with. They imply that he's in love with her, and they get taken over by this one guy. He breaks into their school, and he has a gun, and he's gonna shoot up the school and stuff because the teacher, that's a guy broken, but he is gonna shoot up the school and he's gonna cause problems and stuff, and he's talking about how his life was terrible and all this stuff, and then he's trying to make people feel bad for him because he asked out the teacher and she said no, and then the student likes the teacher, and the student was like, hey, I'm going to go to the moon. Everyone laughs at me when I say I'm going to go to the moon so I can see my father, but my father's not up in space, but people can't tell me that. There's not a 0% chance. And then he meets up with the teacher, and the guy tries shooting at the criminal guy. Says he's going to have sex with the teacher. That's the only way he's going to leave. And then the student says, no, you're not. And then the guy shoots at the kid, and then the kid stops a bullet. Then he goes to the moon 10 years later. He makes up this whole fucking story. And, it's pretty... This one is significantly better than the first one. It's a lot less weird. And you can see his art style and, his storytelling has dramatically improved in this one, and I liked it. This one is a lot better than the last one. Now I think Look Back is still better than both of these, but this is significantly better. Now let's get on to the next. So the next one is a love story. It's about these two. He is the student president, and he likes her, and he's been a coward and he's been a coward and stuff, and he is going to confess his love to her, and that is what this whole entire section is about. So he asked, I guess they're the only two on the student council, and the teacher wants them to stay back, and he says no, he has priorities, so they let him go, and then they get robbed. Or a guy tries to rob him, and he gives them their thing because they don't carry wallets, I guess. And his art is really good in this one. I think this is where his art really gets like levels, because I think he is one of the best like artists in manga. But then they get attacked by aliens. The alien said he's going to destroy the planet. He says, "Do what you want. I don't care." She's like, "No, you need to stop them because like there'll be no Earth." And then he confesses her their love. The alien leaves, and yeah, and then he says that he takes 31 pages to do something that should take 16. He says he still does that. I don't believe so. I believe that a lot of mangakas can do what he does. But yeah, let's get in the next. So the last, short story or one shot that's in here is about this girl right here. So her parents didn't like her, didn't love her, and well, it's implied they didn't like her or love her, and she keeps apologizing, and they like beat her up. So that kind of fucks with you when your parents beat you up and stuff, and basically say you're unwanted and don't accept her apologies. So she becomes an assassin, and she's like, "Oh, I'm really cute," and like, "Oh, I'm gonna assassinate this guy," and this guy's a vampire. And the whole series, or the whole short thing, is about how she fell in love with him, and she's like getting attacked, and he is amused by her, and he's like, "Well, I'm a vampire, I've lived 2,000 years or something." It's like a really long time, I don't remember exactly how long. And she's the only person that's like amused him in that entire time, so he turns her into a vampire, and she really kind of looks like Makima from, Chainsaw Man, in my opinion. But he talks about how cute she is and stuff, and then she's like, "Oh, I've never had love before, so I don't know what this weird feeling is." He tells her to go to the hospital. It's probably a cold, and he's like, "Nope, it's not a cold. You're in love with this person." And that is basically the entire story. He saves her, turns her into a vampire. They live 200 years. She's kind of an airhead. He's the only one that ever was nice to her. She fell in love with him. And I will say this: if you want this, I wouldn't say it's like a must own. I'm only buying it because I think this is one of the best mangakas of our generation, and I think I'm going to own everything he writes. But it's not terrible. It's very different, and you can tell the evolution of his art style because the last one is so much better drawn than the first one. And, that's my opinion. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.